Good morning, students. Now let us have this explanation for chapter 9. Dear Mr. Examiner, in the first part, I have sent you the details, that is just the recitation. I read that poem, and poem is always recited, not read. Okay? Whenever you are studying the poem, you have to recite the poem. So I read the chapter. Now I am going to explain it. So now let us see what is given in this chapter. So now writer is Gareth Owen, was a children's book writer and poet. I have already explained about it. Connect, that you have to write. Share an interesting incident that occurred during a test or an examination. Connect means you have to connect yourself with this chapter. जब अगर आप एग्जाम दे रहे हो, टेस्ट दे रहे हो, तो कुछ कोई इंटरेस्टिंग इंसिडेंट हुआ है क्या? Write about that. Reflect. Make a list of the things that schools can do to make examination less stressful for the students. Now, as a student, आपको ये सोचना है कि एग्जाम की टेंशन हमेशा हर किसी को रहती है. तो how are you going to reduce the stress of the examination? So you can make the list. Imagination. That is, imagine you are appearing for a test and you realize that you do not know the answers to any of the questions. What would you do? This is the poem Dear Mr. Examiner, where the students knows no answers. Means एक student है जिसको कुछ भी नहीं आता है. Suppose you are in that situation. If you are appearing in the examination and you don't know any of the questions, answer of any of the questions, फिर आप क्या करोगे? That and illustrate what your face would look like. आपके चेहरे का expression क्या रहेगा? So you write down about that also. Fine. So now I have already introduced about this writer, the poet. Now let us move ahead. In the examination room, this child is sitting here, and this child has completed the first page formality. Name written, date written, year written, everything written, all the information written, but now he doesn't know anything. Okay. So thank you so much for your questions. I have read them all carefully through, but there is not a single one of them that I know the answer to. I have written my name as instructed, put the year, the month and the day, but after I had finished doing that, I had nothing further to say. So I thought I would write your letter, fairly informally, about what I can see from my desk here and what it's like to be me. Mandy has written 10 pages, but it's probably frightful guff, and Angel Smith is copying the answer of her cuff. Miss Quinlan is marking out homework. The clock keeps ticking away. I suppose for anyone outside, it's just another day. There will be mother going on errands, grandmothers drinking tea, unemployed men doing crosswords or watching Crown on TV. Means for him, he is just observing the classroom, he is just observing the outside, बाहर भी देख रहा है, classroom में भी देख रहा है, and he is just writing everything in the letter to the examiner. Okay. Now the rain has finally stopped here. The sun has started to shine. बारिश भी रुक गई है, sunlight चमक रहा है. And in the back garden, in Saffron Road, a housewife hangs shirts on the line. एक हाउसवाइफ कपड़े भी धो के सुखा रही है. A class files passed to play tennis. क्लास के सब चले गए हैं खेलने के लिए. The cathedral clock had just pealed. A more chugs backwards and forwards up in the hockey field. Miss Quinlan just read what I have written. Her face is an absolute mask. Before she collects the paper, and I have a sort of favor to ask. Means Miss Quinlan ने पढ़ लिया whatever I have written, and her face is an absolute mask. Means I cannot read her expression. उनके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है नहीं पता चल रहा है कि चेहरे पे कोई expression नहीं है. Before she collects the paper and I have a sort of favor to ask. अगर जो पेपर सारे कलेक्ट कर लेंगे then I will ask for some favor. कुछ मेरे कुछ हेल्प कर दीजिए. I thought your questions were lovely. I have only myself to blame, but I could not you give me some marks for writing the date and my name. और वो सोच रहा है कि मैं टीचर को बोलूँगा कि मुझे नहीं आता, ये मेरी गलती है, बट एटलीस्ट जो मैंने डेट मेरा नाम लिखा है उसके लिए तो मार्क्स दे दोगे. He is going to ask the favor. Now, suppose you are in this situation. Fine. अगर आप इस situation में हो that you have prepared for the examination, but now when you are sitting in the examination hall and you don't know a single answer, then what would happen to you? ठीक है, यही है इस poem का मतलब. अब वो इस students, he is sitting and he is watching everyone. Just imagine in your class, if you don't know the answer, then how are you going to pass 2 hours? 2 घंटे का एग्जाम होता है, कैसे पास करोगे जब आपको एक भी क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं आता है? तब आप इधर देखोगे, उधर देखोगे, एग्जामिनर को देखोगे, बाहर कौन जा रहा है उसकी तरफ नजर जाएगा, सबको देखोगे, सब अपना काम कर रहे हैं, मुझे कुछ नहीं आता, मैं बस बैठा हुआ हूँ. सो ही हैज रिटन एन इनफॉर्मल लेटर टू द एग्जामिनर. जो एग्जामिनर मतलब जो आंसर शीट को चेक करता है. ओके, सो आई एम रीडिंग दिस एक्सप्लेनेशन. दिस पोएम डिस्क्राइब्स अ चाइल्ड्स नर्वसनेस व्हाइल सिटिंग इन द एग्जामिनेशन हॉल. पोएम क्या बता रहा है? एक बच्चा जो एग्जामिनेशन हॉल में बैठा है एंड ही डजंट नो एनीथिंग टू राइट, वो कितना नर्वस है. The child is unable to write the answers. Then he shows his anxiety through a letter to the examiner. अब उसकी बेचैनी है, anxiety means बेचैनी. Through a letter to the examiner. अब अपनी बेचैनी को वो लेटर में भेज रहा है. He thanks the examiner for setting the question and admits that he doesn't know any of it. एग्जामिनर को थैंक्स भी बोल रहा है कि आपने क्वेश्चन पेपर तो बहुत अच्छा बनाया, बट ही एडमिट्स मतलब वो अपना एक्सेप्ट करता है कि मुझे कुछ नहीं आता. He has written his name, the year, the month and the date on the paper. Now he does not have anything to write. अब नाम भी लिख दिया, ईयर भी लिख दिया, जो फर्स्ट पेज में आप लोग कंप्लीट करते हो इन द आंसर शीट के फर्स्ट पेज पे, बट नाउ ही डजंट नो एनीथिंग. As he does not know anything, he wishes to write an informal letter to the examiner. फॉर्मल और इनफॉर्मल दो किस्म के लेटर होते हैं. ठीक है, इनफॉर्मल लेटर बस हम अपने हालचाल पूछते हैं, अपनी हालचाल बताते हैं. ओके, दैट इज कॉल्ड इनफॉर्मल लेटर. फॉर्मल लेटर क्या होता है? जो हम किसी को एड्रेस करते हैं, जैसे एप्लीकेशन लिखना, कोई लेटर लिखना, छुट्टी मांगना, ये सब चीजें जब लिखते हैं तो दैट इज द फॉर्मल. ओके, सो इनफॉर्मल लेटर टू द एग्जामिनर अबाउट द थिंग्स दैट इज विजिबल फ्रॉम द डेस्क. अब वो बैठा बैठा सबको देख रहा है, तो वो लिखता है he wants to write about the examination hall according to his point of view. अब उसको क्या दिख रहा है वो अपने हिसाब से वो लिखना चाह रहा है. now what is he seeing from his desk? Let us see. क्या उसको दिख रहा है? One of his classmates, Mandy, has already written 10 pages, but it is horrible nonsense. Means he is seeing that Mandy has written 10 pages. खूब सारा आंसर लिख चुके, लेकिन he thinks that horrible nonsense. क्या लिख रही है पता नहीं. Another of his mate, Angela Smith, is cheating and writing answers by seeing from her uniform scarf. मतलब स्लीव्स के नीचे उसने चीट रखा है, वहां से वो चीटिंग कर रही है. And the examiner, Miss Quinlan, the invigilator is correcting and marking their homework. So she was busy. She was invigilator. Invigilator जो उस समय एग्जाम ड्यूटी पे होते हैं, आपके टीचर्स होते हैं ना. So she was supposed to check the students, but she is correcting and marking their homework. वो अपने काम में busy है. And amidst of all, the time keeps running away, but for him it seems like an endless day. समय तो भाग रहा है 2 घंटा, but the problem is that if you have got 2 hours to write the answer, but you don't know the answer, so it is very very difficult to pass the time in the examination hall. Examination hall में उस टाइम को पास करना बहुत मुश्किल है. ऐसा लगेगा कि टाइम खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा है, endless day, दिन ये खत्म ही नहीं होगा. Okay, for someone who is outside, it's just another day as is every day. अब बाहर जो लोग हैं उनके लिए जस्ट अनदर डे. नथिंग द एग्जामिनेशन इज डूइंग. बारिश हो गया, ये हो गया, कोई कपड़े सुखा रहा है. ओके, मदर इज बिजी, ग्रैंड मदर इज बिजी. सो फॉर देयर इज नथिंग स्पेशल इन द डे, बट फॉर यू इट इज स्पेशल बिकॉज यू आर गिविंग द एग्जाम एंड यू डोंट नो द आंसर. ओके, सो दिस इज द थॉट प्रोसेस ऑफ द स्टूडेंट गोइंग ऑन इन द एग्जामिनेशन रूम. और उसको कुछ नहीं आता है, तो हाउ ही इज पासिंग हिज 2 hours. ओके, just imagine that situation. You are sitting in the examination room and you don't know the answer. What would happen to you? What type of thought process is going to happen with you? क्या आपके दिमाग में चलेगा? Okay, so this is about the poem. So read again, recite the poem, and don't have such situation that you don't know anything in the examination hall. So prepare for your examination very precisely. ठीक है, पढ़ाई करना चाहिए एग्जामिनेशन हॉल में. इधर उधर देखने से एग्जाम आंसर नहीं आ रहा है. यू आर लुकिंग राइट लेफ्ट राइट, एंड समटाइम्स यू आर लुकिंग एट द एग्जामिनर, समटाइम्स लुकिंग एट योर फ्रेंड, समटाइम्स लुकिंग एट द पियोन हु इज एंटरिंग इन द क्लासरूम, एंड यू आर जस्ट वेस्टिंग योर टाइम, and time is not flying. for you. Okay, so this is the situation of the student who doesn't know the answer in the examination hall. Okay, thank you.